Morning everyone. I thought this doesn't look straight. I thought I'd do a quick video response to YMR Parsons 25. I'll do a link down below. Although it could be why Mr. Parsons 25. Maybe he used to call himself Mr. Parsons 25 and people used to question him and go, why Mr. Parsons 25? So he did that to be, he could have done that to be ironic. Or maybe there was 24, he's the 25th of the Why Mr. Parsons clan. So he'd go, why Mr. Parsons 21? No! Why Mr. Parsons 22? Whoa! But yes, this is a video response to Why Mr. Parsons 25. I've only watched the first video and I think he's got about 5 or 6 there, and he talked about his journey into fostering. And the reason I wanted to do a video response is because I got the impression that he was quite a religious person. He talked about God guiding him and his partner and steering him and bringing these children to him, and obviously we're all God's children, so why wouldn't you want to give love to one of God's child and give him the best start in the world? And I thought it was interesting because I agreed with them, except I would have substituted, for myself, I'm a secular person, I would have substituted God with fate. And in most parts, obviously, why you wouldn't say, why would you not love one of fate's children? Although, would you? And the point I'm making is it doesn't matter whether you have a faith or not. It matters, the love that you've got to give out, and I'm a firm believer that fate has steered us and steered our family to where we are now and where we are now. Where we were 3 years ago was in a town called Mansfield, a very busy, a very insular town, it wasn't, in my opinion, and I've been there 35 years, it wasn't the best of towns at all. He got voted, I think he got voted the 7th worst place to live 3 years running, maybe more. I stopped watching. And you know what, it didn't surprise me. And we've moved from there up to North Wales, to the middle of nowhere. We've gone from an A road to a real minor country road where we hardly see any traffic at all. And we've got a big mountain up to, in that direction. To my right, your left, and I've no idea whether that's north, south, east or west. I should get a compass really and find out. So I just wanted to talk about my journey into fostering, or mine and my wife's journey into fostering. My wife was brought up in a care environment. Her mum and dad ran care homes, and her mum and dad fostered children. So it was something that came second nature to my wife, and it was always in her blood. Not so much for me. For me, it was very much a nuclear family, and nonna, granddad, parents, and a couple of uncle and aunties, and that was it. We didn't live in each other's pockets and always know each other's stories. We weren't always around each other's house. We were quite a disparate, quite separate family unit, so we didn't have the tightest of wider family units. Mum, dad, me and my brother, incredibly tight, a really nice family, but beyond that, it wasn't the tightest of units. Then I met my wife and did everything that you wouldn't do in a relationship. Within a year, we were married, child, mortgage, new jobs, and it always felt right. So when I met my wife, we started talking about fostering about 3 months in. I'd known her for a year, and when we started dating about 3 months in, we started talking about fostering, and it might have been 2 months. Now 2 months is the shortest amount of time to start talking about something as significant as that. We're talking 60 days, aren't we? But we was just talking about it. And we'd actually booked a social worker to come round. And I think a week before the social worker came round to talk to us about the fostering process, we found out we were pregnant, and that's where our first son came from. So the fostering went on the back burner, and we didn't think about it again. And we sort of thought about it 10 years later, 9 years later, when we was thinking about families and what we wanted with our family, we decided that our son was enough, was a very happy unit, and I'd go for a vasectomy, and we'd say, this is our lot in life, our family's working absolutely lovely, I'll go for a vasectomy. And we did say that potentially we'll foster in the future. it was put on the table, but only sort of just so we know it's there as something that we'll visit at a later point. And then a year later, my daughter was born, which I know is very, very funny. And like I say, we're a firm believer in fate. I had the vasectomy, and I was given all the literature, all the information on what a vasectomy entails. Didn't read any of it, and the very next day, me and my wife were sort of having a loving relationship again. That's a good euphemism, isn't it? And apparently it can take up to a year for the vasectomy to take, which I now know, but I didn't then. And we had a daughter, and there aren't many females in the Naylor family. There's lots of males, but not many females. And also, she jumped a vasectomy, so we always say she jumped a vasectomy, she came out a girl, and she battered off a shower tray. She had an accident when she was about 3 months, which could have been very serious. Could have been very, very serious, but luckily wasn't. But that's another story. So we had the daughter, and about a year and a half later, my wife had sort of bad postnatal, and she did have bad postnatal with our son. And it came to a talking point. It got to not so much a breaking point. It got to a talking point where we sat down and just discussed our feelings. And we sort of, I had an epiphany. Personally, I had an epiphany and just went, why don't we move? There are a few things in Mansfield that we didn't want to be near, or my wife didn't want to be near. And it was like, well, why don't we move? And as soon as you had that light bulb moment, it was obvious. It was, why hadn't we thought of it years before? So long story short, we decided to move to somewhere nice. We didn't have anywhere geographically in mind. We looked all over England, and our only criteria was to be about 20 minutes from the sea. And we actually moved to somewhere 7 minutes from the sea. And again, talking of fate guiding us, from the moment we put it on the house to the moment we moved into the house in Wales, 200 something, 180 something miles away, it took 60 days. Maybe slightly longer. We put it in September, October, November. 1st of September, it went on the market. 5th of November, bonfire night. That's my daughter. 5th of November, we moved into the house. Hang on one moment. Ez? 5th of November, we moved in the house. And as we were moving up, one of our friends said to us, why don't you foster? You've always wanted to foster. And again, it was another light bulb. It was, oh wow, we're changing our life. We're having a lifestyle change. We're going somewhere nice for the children. Why don't we foster? Because we've always wanted to. So we started looking for a 4-bedroom house rather than a 3-bedroom house. And started the fostering process. And it was just the most natural thing to do. It didn't seem wrong or intimidating at any point, and that's mirrored our life. After 3 months of being together, we find out we're pregnant, and it didn't feel wrong. It didn't feel like a mistake. It didn't feel scary. Then 6 months later, we were married, shotgun wedding, and again that didn't feel wrong. Didn't feel rushed. Didn't feel clunky. Didn't feel we was doing it for the wrong reasons. We was doing it because we loved each other, but also because I wanted legal access. I wanted to be a good father, and I wanted to have all the rights and access of support to my son. Then we got a mortgage, again within a year. Always felt right, and that's how it felt with fostering. And we always just wanted to expand our family, but also expand our family's experiences and bring another child in. I think, in theory, was good for the whole family. It was good for us because we had that time and that love to give out, but good for our children just to see how other people live, just to know how dynamic the wider world is, and to bring a child from sort of a difficult past or a chaotic lifestyle to bring in and try and help them out just seemed like the right thing to do. So we looked into fostering. It took about a year, and last September, it is now April. I say this for people that might be watching this years later. We got accepted on panel, And then 3 months ago, we started fostering a 16-year-old girl. And though it's been a little bit difficult, you know, the paperwork and the tiring and adjusting all our lifestyles, you know, you think you're prepared for it, and then obviously you've got to have all the supportive documentation, you have to have all the communication with all the workers that are involved, and you have to think more in depth about the future of the child. Ez, don't do that for the time being. I'm talking, okay? So I just wanted to do this as a video response to why Mr. Parsons 25, because it was really nice watching his video talking about his journey into fostering and why they both sort of wanted to foster. And I just wanted to share why me and my wife wanted to foster. Some soup? Give me a second. Ez, here. Come here. Who am I talking to? Who? YouTube. Say hello to YouTube.
Hello.
This is my daughter. I've got a daughter, a son, and now a foster daughter living with us at the moment. And it's worked out to be, again, the most natural step and the best step we could have taken. And if anybody's watching this wondering if they are capable of fostering...
Dad, a big dog told...
No. Don't say the name. Yeah? Don't say a name. If anybody's watching this and feel that they want to foster, I'd say yes, definitely. Just by the very fact you're having the thought means that you're almost pre-inclined to want to give extra love, that you realise the importance of the family and that nurturing environment. And it's worth looking into the foster agencies and finding out what's involved, because it really is the most rewarding. It's a rewarding decision. I won't say the most rewarding decision you'll make in your life. 1 second. It's just a very rewarding decision you'll make that I suspect will keep on giving for years, regardless of the length of time that person's with you. Be it 3 months, be it 1 year. Fostering can be a massive eye-opener, but can really fill your life with a lot of joy. Even if your life wasn't joyless, you find there's a contentment or there's a wholeness there that I don't want to say that you didn't know was there before. It's just fulfilling. Okay, that's my ramble. I think I've gone to the left and the right a bit, but you know, that's the nature of these. That's me, and that's why we foster. Bye bye for now. Say bye bye.
Bye bye.
To the camera.
Bye bye.
You have to wave.
Bye bye. Just let you spoon.
And what about, aren't you watching that TV show now?